Super quick video. I'm going to show you how to do this on the calculator. So if you remember from the previous example, we created two equations. We actually created the inequality first, which is right there, and then we separated those into two equations, which is m of x and c of x. We graphed them into an xy plane, and we came up with x is greater than 2, which means that at this point, at 2, so after 2, the motorcycle goes ahead of the car, or the car goes ahead of the motorcycle. All right, now how could I do this into my calculator? All right, so I'm gonna go to my calculator, okay. So my calculator looks similar to yours. Not everything is the same, but it's pretty similar. It's gonna do the job. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to y equals, which is the top left button on your calculator. So I'm gonna go to click y equals, and as you can see, mine are already there. So on the first y's of 1, I input my m of x equation, so 40 plus 40x, and that represents your motorcycle. On y's of 2, I input 60x, which is c of x, which represents your car. Cool. We're gonna go ahead and graph that, and your calculator is gonna do it for you. You're gonna click graph on the top right corner of your calculator, and it's gonna graph it for you. Now, what do you notice? Well, we're looking for the intersection, and I cannot see it, right? And that is because your window on your calculator only goes to 10. So if you notice, it goes 10 to the side, to the right side, 10 to the left side, 10 to the bottom, 10 to the top. So you're only able to see that part of the window, which means you're gonna have to change the window. So I'm gonna click window, and then I'm gonna change the parameters of my x and y values. For my x minimum, I'm gonna write 6 or 0, and for my maximum, I'm gonna write 6. Cool. For my y minimum, I'm gonna put 0, and then for my maximum, I'm gonna put 240. Usually you're not gonna be working with such big numbers, but for this one, you know, it's kind of the exception. Now, how did I know to put 240? Usually I would have just guessed the number, but if you remember from your previous example, look at your y value. It goes all the way to 240. Now, did I really have to put it all the way to 240? Probably not. I could have done 160 and it would have been just fine. But going back to my calculator, once you input the parameters, go ahead and graph it, and now I can see the intersection. All right. Now, obviously, for this problem, you can clearly see that the answer was 2, but let's just assume that it wasn't that obvious. So you're gonna click second, trace. So it's the second, it's the button right next to graph, and you're gonna click on 5, which is the intersect. So I'm gonna click 5. So now it's looking for 5. So I'm looking for those x's, and I'm gonna put one on the left side of the intersection and the other one on the right side of the intersection. So notice how it says right bound. Okay. And yep, so as you can see, it's really small. My x equals 2.1123, which you can just estimate it.